What if I told you a full-frame cinema camera just shrank to a size that won't break your shoulder? In this video, we're tearing down the Canon EOS C50, the smallest, lightest full-frame cinema camera Canon's put out, to see whether it's a game changer or just a very expensive paperweight. I'll walk you through the design, the new 7K sensor, the weird but useful features, yes, simultaneous landscape plus portrait recording, and who should seriously consider buying this. Stick around. I've saved the real-world caveats for last, and they might change your mind. At 665 grams body only and a compact 143 by 88 by 95 millimeter footprint, the C50 feels like Canon squeezed cinema into something you can actually handhold for longer takes. Think of it like this. It's the R5C's video brain in gym shorts. No EVF. Canon leaned into a side-swiveling 3-inch articulating touchscreen instead, and the included top handle adds Pro features 2 full-size XLRs, zoom rocker, tally, and record while bumping the weight by about 445 grams. On paper, it sounds great, but in real life, that handle turns this tiny body into a proper run-and-gun rig, which is exactly what many indie shooters want. Here's the headline. A brand new 32-megapixel 7K full-frame CMOS sensor with dual base ISO 800 to 6400 and Canon Log 2. Canon claims up to 16 stops of dynamic range. Paired with the Digic DV7, the camera records 12-bit cinema raw light up to 7K at 60 frames per second. For filmmakers who crave latitude and flexible color grading, this sensor is the C50's backbone. Also worth flagging, full-frame 3:2 open-gate recording. Great for anamorphic work and creative crops. If you shoot both stills and video, 32-megapixel photos at up to 40 frames per second with dual-pixel AF2 are a nice bonus, even if this is clearly a video-first tool. The C50 packs video-first thinking. CF Express Type B plus UHS-2 SD dual slots, so yes, simultaneous landscape to CF Express and vertical to SD, time code, full-size HDMI, dedicated mic or headphone jacks, and active cooling. Codec-wise, you get Cinema Raw Light, XFAVC, and XFHEVCS with RAW HQ, ST, and LT trade-offs depending on resolution and frame rate. Slow-mo fans. 4:2 to 210-bit up to 120p in 4K via slow and fast mode. Autofocus uses dual-pixel CMOS AF2 with AI subject detection across video and photo modes, which is Canon's strength. Later, I'll say why card choice matters more here than on most hybrid bodies. The camera has built-in Wi-Fi and supports Ethernet via USB-C with Frame.io camera to cloud for fast turnarounds. UVC and UAC support make it handy for live streaming or hybrid workflows. It requires the new LPE6P battery for full functionality, offering about 90 minutes of continuous shooting, a notable upgrade from older LPE6 versions. Downsides: no mechanical shutter, so no flash sync, no in-camera LUTs for grading previews, and some EF lenses only work properly with the LPE6P. So who is the C50 for? If you're a solo filmmaker, content creator, or indie DP who wants true cinema tools in a pocketable package, powerful RAW, Pro I/O, and clever features like simultaneous vertical recording, this camera is tempting. On the flip side, if you live in a long-form run-and-gun with lots of adapted glass and need an EVF or in-camera LUTs, you might want to pause. On paper, it's a small full-frame cinema camera with big ideas. In real life, it's one of the most versatile hybrid cinema bodies Canon has made, provided you accept a few practical compromises. Drop your thoughts below. What if Canon's next creator cam is full frame, shoots 4K at 120 frames per second, and still sneaks in under $2,000? Today, we're digging into the rumored Canon EOS R8V, potentially the first full frame in Canon's V series and a direct swing at Sony's ZV-E1. I'll break down expected specs, the price math, and when it might drop, and I'll tell you the one feature that could make or break this camera for creators. Stick around, because the twist on IBIS versus no IBIS is coming up. So, what do we know? The R8V is rumored to borrow the 24.2 megapixel full-frame sensor and Digic X processor from the EOS R8/R6 Mark II family, but with a faster readout to tame rolling shutter. Think uncropped 4K 60 oversampled from 6K for extra detail, plus 4K at 120 frames per second with a small crop for buttery slow-mo. We're also hearing C-Log 3 and 10-bit for 2.2 internal. Translation: legit grading latitude without jumping through hoops. And if Canon goes all in on the creator vibe, expect easy streaming shortcuts, a big red record button, and simplified menus. In about 30 seconds, I'll explain how this could undercut Sony on price while still hitting the right features. Picture a compact EVF-free cube-ish body around 498 grams with a 3-inch vari-angle touchscreen you can flip, tap to change subject detection, and punch record from the front. Connectivity checks the boxes: USB-C 3.2, micro HDMI, mic and headphone jacks, plus Wi-Fi/Bluetooth. There might even be a vertical tripod mount and one-press live stream shortcut. Nice for shorts, reels, and live selling. To keep it affordable, don't expect a joystick or a top LCD. That's fine. This line is meant to be grab and go, not a mini C70. Quick thought. If Canon nails heat management for those longer 4K sessions, creators will notice. If they miss, you'll notice that too. Here's where it gets juicy. IBIS. Some leaks claim 5 to 6 stops of in-body stabilization. Others say, nope. If it lands, handheld vloggers win, especially with stabilized RF lenses. If not, Canon may lean on digital and lens IS instead. Rumors also point to dual-pixel CMOS AF2 with deep learning tracking for people, animals, and vehicles, plus faster sensor readout for less jello. Possible perks: 4-channel 24-bit audio and unlimited 4K recording, if cooling holds up. Bottom line, reliable AF plus solid stabilization is what solo shooters need most. Let's do the math. The original R8 launched at $1,499 body only. If the V-series pattern holds, roughly a $300 step up for creator features, you're looking at around $1,799 body only, with a likely RF 24 to 50mm kit near $1,999. That's spicy, but still under Sony's ZV-E1 pricing, which is the whole point. A full-frame creator cam that's friendlier on the wallet. As for timing, rumors point to a window between April and September 2026 based on Canon's 3-year cadence from April 2023. Could Canon go earlier to keep creator momentum? Absolutely. But until invites go out, consider everything rumored, not confirmed. If you're a hybrid creator wanting full-frame vibes, clean 4K at 60 frames per second, and solid slow-mo without going pro body, the R8V, on paper, looks perfect. With IBIS, it's a no-brainer rival to the ZV-E1 for handheld work. Without it, you'll need stabilized lenses or a gimbal, which closes the gap. My take: if your kit works, wait for official news, especially on IBIS, heat, and record limits. Upgrading now? the R8 or R6 Mark II still deliver big for the money. So what's the one feature that seals day one buy for you? IBIS, 4K, 120, or price? Drop it in the comments. And if this helped, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for the full launch deep dive.